keeping track of our feathered friends and finding out just how far south they really travel in winter. That's part of the reason Cypress Hills Interprovincial Park takes part in a process called bird banding. Each spring and fall, a group of researchers set up a series of 12-meter nets and wait for birds to be tangled in them. They then remove the birds, weigh and measure them, check for health issues, and place a metal band on their foot with a 9-digit number.
Each one's unique, and if we ever capture that bird again, we can look back, see exactly where the bird was banded, how old it was, how healthy it was, and then hopefully we can catch it in other locations and figure out where they're migrating. So right now, we really want to see what's changing in the Cypress Hills with the MAPS project. We can figure out exactly when each species is breeding, when the young are fledging, stuff like that. During our migration monitoring project, we're trying to figure out important habitat. So we band birds and hopefully they get recaptured other places. We can figure out exactly when they're migrating, where they're migrating through, and hopefully we can protect that habitat that's really important for them.
Behind this project is an organization called the Canadian Migration Monitoring Network, operating banding stations across Canada and the U.S., with 4 stations here in Alberta. Thanks to this network, Colton's team can determine some of the birds in the Cypress Hills this summer have been as far south as Argentina and back. But aside from tracking migration patterns, researchers also want to ensure we're maintaining a healthy habitat for birds in our own backyard.
If we're seeing a huge decrease in bird populations, especially there's MAP stations up by Fort McMurray, and they're really trying to figure out what oil field exploration is doing to birds. So if you see a big drastic drop in bird populations or diversity, then you know something's wrong and something needs to change. Or if the populations are going up and they're healthy, we can say that we're doing a good job. Also, along migration routes, if we're finding birds that are rare or endangered and we're finding them in specific areas because of these bands, we know exactly where they came from and we can tell government, hey, this area is really important for migrating birds.
Approximately 220 bird species are found in the Cypress Hills, and about 110 species have been banded.
Right now we're catching a lot of warblers and sparrows, stuff like that, but it's a very broad range of stuff that we can catch. I really like birds. It's fun, and I feel like I'm doing something good for the environment, and I'm helping change the world a little bit, so it's just a fun job. I've always wanted to catch stuff as a kid, and when I realized this was a real job, I kind of fell in love with it.
Visitors to the park can find researchers banding at West Central Beach in May and June, and again for the fall migration throughout August and September. Over the summer months, they run a MAPS project. For more information on the project, you can go to chipmigration.wordpress.com, or you can contact the Calgary Bird Banding Society. For Go Southern Alberta, I'm Christy Pick.